The Houston Rockets have won 2 in a row, and post All-Star break, Jalen Green is back, like me. Let's talk about it. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Summit State of Mind, presented to you by the Apollo Podcast Network and powered by JRM, located just minutes from the Toyota Center. Be sure to get there. Free parking, the best barbecue in the entire city of H-Town. In this episode, let's go ahead and discuss the Houston Rockets versus the San Antonio Spurs game. Jalen Green on a heater right now. We're going to discuss that. We're also going to discuss and predict Rockets versus Kings that is coming up this Saturday. Look at us. The boys are back. The OGs, joined by the GM, my brother. The last time we've been in an episode.
It was a while ago.
It was a while ago.
Just us two?
It's
probably like a few months.
November?
A few months.
Since before my trip to Philippines.
Probably, yeah. I think so, yeah.
All I got to say is the time that I was away gets a big old no yeet.
Damn. You saying that I'm no yeeted?
No, you're not no yeeted. I'm no yeeting because I've been apart from you.
Fair. I mean, you've been around. It's not in front, but
I've been behind the camera. I've been behind the camera.
Doing the production.
I have been doing the production, but it's great to be here. It's great to be back. You're in chair number 2.
Yeah,
not with the
pressures.
No pressure on chair number 1.
This is a different seat, in comparison to being, the main guy, the main one. Shout out to our boy.
Hello.
But it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
I know. I'm
can do both.
multifaceted.
Yeah, there
I
you
can
go.
Do both.
A Justin of all trades, you say.
I'm like Jalen Green. I can be in all facets.
Holy pokey, that is, wow, that's crazy. That's wild.
I did that.
We're gonna do it. Hello. Let's talk about it right now. Houston Rockets versus the San Antonio Spurs. The Houston Rockets did defeat the San Antonio Spurs last night pretty easily, pretty quickly. As soon as my phone decides to load, because it's not loading right now. I had the score pulled up. There it is. 118-106. The Houston Rockets did win, improved to a record of 37-22. Currently the 4th seed in the West, toggling back and forth between the Luka Doncic Los Angeles Lakers.
Yep.
And so let's talk about it right now. Houston Rockets, San Antonio Spurs. Did you get to watch the game live?
I did.
Okay,
I
perfect.
watched the game.
All right,
yes.
So give us your first impressions of it. What did you think about the game overall?
I feel like the team had a lot to prove there. There was, especially the way that they had to close it out and really clutch it out against Milwaukee. I think they felt like they had a lot to prove, especially with Ime.
Yeah,
Ime is very
agreed.
tough with these guys. And anytime, especially with the way Amen finished out that game by getting kicked out and Alp making some really dumb decisions in the clutch, I think that the team felt a little bit more motivated to go out there and to smash the Spurs. You got to, when you're playing a team from a fake city,
wow.
You have to let the world know. And this was on national.
4 minutes in, and we got the first San Antonio joke. Okay.
This was on national TV. And you know what? The boys wanted to show the world that H-Town is not meant to be reckoned with.
There you go.
Yes.
And we're 3-1 officially against the Spurs now.
We're 3-1, yes.
So we closed the season series.
We closed that season series out, showed them who the superior team is in Texas. Houston, not even Dallas doesn't even count anymore.
Right.
But overall, the game was great. Amen Thompson, highlight after highlight.
I mean, pulled the Hakeem bag. Pulled the Hakeem bag.
Yes.
During the game.
His footwork was just magnificent. He had his full highlight reel.
Which is insane too, because I'm like, where did this come from? Like, where did the footwork? I was like, you haven't used this all year, and now you're choosing to use it now? Like, dude, you've had this in the bag the whole time?
Well, I mean, the day before or during practice either the week before or a few days prior, LaMarcus Aldridge was in town coaching up the team. LaMarcus Aldridge did have some moves in the post.
Yeah.
Maybe Amen might have saw something that clicked to him, and maybe that worked out. But, I mean, everyone performed. Jalen had an efficient game, very efficient game. Alp played very well. He didn't even have to contribute very much.
No, he had 3 fouls in the second quarter, which took his minutes down. It's so interesting when you think about what the San Antonio Spurs are. They lost Wembanyama, so everyone's immediately like, oh yeah, the Cooper Flag sweepstakes now start. But really, in actuality, they're 24-33. They're actually the 9th or 10th worst team in the NBA. So it's they're not bottom feeders. They're not. They got De'Aaron Fox. These aren't pushovers.
Yeah.
They weren't pushovers. And I don't like the narrative that everyone's like, now that Wemby's down, like everyone thinks like, oh yeah, the Rockets, like, Rockets are gonna dominate, which we did, which is great. But I just don't like that narrative of like, oh yeah, the Spurs are like nothing. And it's like, no, they still had it. They still had a
Chris Paul,
squad.
De'Aaron
Yeah, they
Fox.
still have a squad.
Yeah.
Like they still have a team. And I just love the way that the Rockets, that you can tell Ime challenged that team. They challenged the Rockets, challenged his guys to say, hey, like the defense hasn't been completely there. The offense obviously is on and off, very sporadic.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that, this team looked like from what is it, from whistle to whistle, they were locked in the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what you love to see. And guys like Jalen Green and, like you said, Amen Thompson, Jabari getting back into the
Shout
lineup.
out to your son.
My son,
They're
who's
3-1 since he's been back.
still looking for the stroke. Pause. Aren't you happy that I'm back? Aren't you happy that I'm back?
I am so glad.
Aren't you glad that I'm
so
back?
glad that he is back.
So still trying to find the shot, and
Yeah.
and interesting
He
to
hit
you.
some threes last night.
He did a couple.
Yeah,
but
and his midi was looking pretty decent.
dude,
I
the
would say.
midi, the first shot, the fadeaway midi. Shout outs to LaMarcus Aldridge. Got it to him one
True.
time. He did
Very
have the midi.
true. Yes.
So one thing I did notice though, and I do want to pick your brain on it,
Yeah.
is lately, Ime Udoka seems to have strayed away from the starters. I'm not starters. Sorry, strayed away from the young players. Like his rotation is now fielding more towards an Aaron Holiday, fielding more towards a Jayshawn Tate, a
Yes.
Jeff Green.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like he's not using the Cam Whitmores anymore. And I'm thinking my thought process now is he is slowly but surely developing the playoff rotation.
Yes.
I think this is what we're seeing
Absolutely.
now. As we inch closer, there's 23 games remaining. I think that he's inching closer. So the players he's using now are most likely going to be the players that are going to be in the ready for the playoffs. So I don't think you'll see a Cam Whitmore.
I don't believe so.
I don't think you'll see
I
a
don't believe
Reed
so.
Shepard either. Like
Yes.
you'll see the Jeff Greens, you'll see the Jayshawn Tates, you'll see the Aaron Holidays sporadically. Aaron Holiday maybe not as much, especially when Fred comes back. But
Absolutely.
what was your kind of thought process on kind of like Ime's like rotations, like especially right now, especially in last night's game and moving forward?
I mean, I'm very happy with it. I know that a lot of people have soured on Cam. It's a little unfair to him, but at the same time, I've soured on Cam way before everyone else did. His defense just isn't there. And for you to stay on the floor, especially on a rotation for Ime Udoka, you got to play some fucking defense, dude. I mean, that's just how it is. You can't be a black hole on the floor. You can't whine and complain. I mean, there was a moment during the game, during a timeout, and Cam Whitmore is literally just sitting there on the bench next to the guys, and he's just like
Yeah,
looking like a
It's not
sad
it's not
sap.
Well,
And
but
his body language isn't good.
it's hard to gauge, man, because there's times where he is into it.
He's frustrated as a youngster. I get it, but you have to have proven practice. And his time will come again. Not everyone's going to be healthy. But shout out to Jayshawn Tate. Shout out to Aaron Holiday. Shout out to, Jeff Green. Like these guys, like Vanessa Richardson said, the Stay Ready crew. Shout out to them for always being ready. Like Jayshawn Tate has been so impressive. Last night, when he played on the court for his limited minutes, he made sure to make an effect. He hit a three. He hit some layups. He showed really good defense and grit on the floor, and that's all Ime Udoka asks for.
And they're just proving in the
Just
plus-minus
effort.
category, right? They're just killing you in the plus-minus category, too. What?
I have an opinion on the plus-minus category, but also it's a good look, but it's also a little overrated. But don't mind me. It's just my opinion.
Daryl Morey is rolling in his metaphorical bed. Not grave. He's
Not
alive.
a big fan of, no, I'm not going to go there.
Okay, let's go ahead. Talk about, come on, give me your 30-minute exhortation on Moneyball.
Moneyball has its good things and its bad things.
He goes,
This is not the point.
He goes, chapter 1. Like a scroll.
Like Chris Jericho's 1,004 holds.
1,004 reasons why I don't like Moneyball. Reason 1, percentages.
Reason 2, 0 for 28.
Oh, no.
There
Not
you go.
that we got that right now. Okay, so let's talk about, like, basically Houston Rockets and Spurs. Let's kind of just, like, wrap this up in a bow here. Just
Yes.
overall, I mean, it was a spanking, like you said.
dude.
It was a great game overall. I just love the way the team were just kind of engaged. Like, this is... yesterday's game was reminiscent of what they were most of the season.
Yes.
Which they tend to lose focus on. The last
Yes.
episode I was on with DJ, I did say that this team had never been this deep.
Yes.
The young core has never been
Yes.
this deep to try to contain their focus and prove that this is an 82 game season. Like the past couple seasons, like they didn't have to care. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like they could take these games off because they were rebuilding.
Yeah.
But now you're not. Now you're like under the microscope. Even interestingly enough, when you think about it, did you watch the ESPN ESPN feed, or did you watch the
I watched
Space
Sports,
City?
I watched Space City.
Okay, perfect.
ESPN.
So I went the ESPN feed, and interestingly enough, like they are glazing all over on the Houston Rockets.
as they should.
Now, fine, don't pause. But like all over the Houston Rockets and
Yes.
Jalen Green, they were giving so much love to Jalen Green, Alperen Şengün, just a lot of spotlight focus. Like it wasn't on Wemby or De'Aaron Fox like they talked about a little bit, but it was mostly centered upon Jalen Green, Alperen Şengün. Jalen Green mostly just because of the fact that he's been on a tear lately, which we'll go into in the next segment.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm saying is the national pundits, they know this Houston Rockets team now.
They're starting
you know
to
what I mean?
kind of gauge the interests of the Nationals because of the fact that the team is sustaining some success. I do feel like that the struggles are because they are the victims of their success because they're so young. They might have bought into it a little too much, and there might have been some arrogance considering, that they've played so well to start with Fred, Jabari, and these guys playing super well, and then the injuries happen, next man up mentality, and they're just not being able to bring it every night. And, I've heard some issues, like Jalen's been dealing with injuries. Alp hurt his back before the All-Star game. There's a lot of issues at this time of year. So this is the time of year where it's kind of just like everyone has a little ding. Yeah. And it's just about how you deal with it.
Little dingies.
And thank goodness for the All-Star break. I feel like it could have been longer for the team, but 3-1.
I'll take 1 week. I'll take 1 week off.
Yeah, we'll take it,
Take 1 week.
I just think that the Rockets just had to recenter and refocus, recalibrate, and remember who they are.
Remember who you are.
There you go, Mufasa.
Oh, I was waiting for you. I was like, please get the reference. Please. You were going to break my heart. Shout outs to 1995 Disney on VHS. Like, I needed you to catch
the Lion King.
To pick up what I was putting down. Okay, speaking of which, let's go ahead and move on.
Let's move forward.
Let's move forward. All right, so speaking of which, we talked about it already. We kind of chimed upon it. But Jalen Green, here we go. On a heater currently. 4 games after the All-Star break. Post All-Star break, Jalen is back.
Yeah.
He is him.
Of course.
He is
he always
him.
has been.
He is him. Let me drop some numbers right here. The past 4 games, the big 3. Points per game, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage.
Yep.
26 points per game, 54% from the field.
Sweet.
45% from 3.
I love that.
This dude.
Give me that.
Give me that. Like on a silver platter. Like this dude has been performing. It's insane. Okay. Jalen is such an enigma. There's games where I know I'm going to pass on your opinion for sure. I'm going to tee it up for you. He's such an enigma. But like overall, what he's been doing these past 4 games has been incredible. The easiness in which he's getting his shots. Yeah. I mean, it's very easy, and it's just like, can't you just do this every game, buddy? Like, come on. Like, if you just lock in and stay focused, know you're capable of doing this. Like, this is an every game type thing. You can do it. So, GM, over to you right now. After the percentages, after the numbers I've been given to you, look, the Houston Rockets have been killing it with Jalen Green at the top of the page. It hasn't been Şengün. It's been Jalen at the top of the page. ESPN we're mostly talking about Jalen. He's been getting the top of the page in terms of, or centerpiece in terms of what this Rockets team has been doing post All-Star break. Overall opinion right now of Jalen Green. We all know you love him.
I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, we don't need him to go off for 40 points a game, but just the way that he's been scoring recently, you can tell that the game has slowed down. I've preached this before where it's like the game slows down for him. He makes the right decisions. He gets into his spots, and then his confidence shoots. The main story here isn't just because of the fact of his numbers, but because he's healthy. He's available. The man doesn't want to sit. If there's one thing that he may have gotten from their former star, James Harden, is availability. The most underrated characteristic that Jalen Green possesses is availability for his team. Whether he's struggling from the field, he's not as healthy, or, it's just a bad game, my man doesn't get psyched out.
My man just loves to hoop.
And I'll tell you
he's
this.
He's a hooper.
Like, Brad posted today on Twitter, like, the 82 games, the last 82 games for Jalen Green have been very good. I think it's about, 23 points a game. I don't know about the shooting percentages, but the record is 51-31, I believe, with Jalen in the last 82 games.
That's awesome.
What I'm saying is,
holy pokey,
the proof is in the pudding there, and I believe that this guy does not need to be the biggest world beater in terms of heaters. We don't need him to go on a heater every game. But if he can go and shoot, 10 of 18 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 3 of 7. We are very solid. And once he starts getting foul calls in the paint, he'll get to 25 to 27 points a game. My man does not get any fouls, and it's obnoxious. But maybe by next year, after this playoff run, he will get his respect. So I do believe that we are right there. We're seeing something special. We're just scratching the surface for Jalen Green.
In year 4.
In year 4.
Finally.
Hey, man, I mean,
I'm just
usually
kidding. I'm kidding.
things happen
I'm
at the age of
kidding.
23.
I know.
That's
That's
what
true.
they say. Age 23 is a turning point for a lot of guards.
What was I doing at 23? Oh, I will not mention it, but yes. Okay, wait. So interestingly enough, I have a stat I want to throw at you. Shout outs to ESPN. You guys are great. You guys are awesome.
Yes.
You want to be a sponsor on our show? Sure, be it. I'm just kidding.
Anyways.
ESPN did state, and they did say that that when Jalen Green averages 50% or more from the field, the Rockets are 12-3.
I believe that.
So you hover around that high percentage mark, Rockets are virtually unbeatable. Like when Jalen does that, because we all know the defense is going to lock in. Like we know they'll be there. The defense will be there. And carrying Jalen Green forward into the playoffs, I'm not going to doubt the defense. I put our defense against any defense in the NBA, any NBA team, any championship caliber team, the tops in the West, whether it's the Thunder or the Grizzlies, or in the East against the Boston Celtics. I put our defense against all of their defenses. It's the offense that's going to be key here for the Houston Rockets in the playoffs. Jalen Green is going to be so key as the court begins to shrink and half-court offense begins to take precedent in the playoffs. Obviously, Fred VanVleet being out has been so welcoming to Jalen Green as well, allowing him to expand upon his game, him and Amen included.
Absolutely.
To be able to expand upon their games and being asked to do more and not wilting under that type of pressure.
Yeah.
And the great thing is that, remember, we were complaining. The one complaint last year was that Fred was getting overran. Like, oh, he's playing too much. Like, the wheels are gonna fall off. They're allowing him to get back because Ime is comfortable enough to say, okay, you know what? Take your time. Our guys are good.
Yeah.
Jalen's fine. Amen's fine. Like, let them figure it out.
Challenging the boys.
There's trust there. And I think that's huge for Coach Ime to not have to rush Fred back.
Do you think that Fred is capable of playing today? Today?
Well, apparently, according to ESPN, he's going to play Saturday. They said that he's gearing up to play Saturday. So
welcome back.
I mean, we'd like to have him back, obviously, but I mean, just amazingly enough, like Fred being gone, being a blessing in disguise to ask Jalen to do more, and doing more and playing well, especially post All-Star break. I mean, he's been killing it, like you said, tops amongst.
We haven't even gotten to March yet.
Oh, now March Jalen. Post All-Star break, Jalen's one thing. But March Jalen Green.
Didn't
we? How much did we win? We won 12 in a row.
Something along those lines, yeah.
That was insane. That was a heater last year. Now, if we can win 12 in a row this next month,
I would take it.
Dude,
absolutely.
We would be like the second or third seed.
I mean, our schedule is definitely a lot easier, but we're still going to have some good teams in there. I know we got to.
No. You can't say the schedule is easier when you lose to Utah.
Fair.
I can't take strength of schedule seriously anymore.
That was a horrible.
Reason number 5 why Moneyball sucks.
What a statement.
Reason number 5, strength of schedule. No, overall, Jalen Green's been absolutely killing it. I mean, he's been tops in the NBA in terms of percentages and just proving. And you could also, while we wrap this up in a bow, you can tell he's a little upset that he didn't get accepted into the All-Star game. He could
he should.
I feel like he's using this.
He should be mad. Use it as fuel. If he plays like this next year, there's no way they keep him out.
No, definitely not. No, especially if the Rockets are like top 3 in the West with like LP and Jalen performing. They should both make the All-Star game.
Unfortunately, that's expectations for them.
Right. No, that 100% that's going to be expectations. Yeah. I mean, definitely once Durant's on the team, absolutely. No tampering.
I was about to say that.
No tampering.
I was about to say
tampering.
That.
No tampering. But
shout out future Rocket.
Yeah, future Rocket Kevin Durant. He's gonna be a Rocket. It's coming, guys. On the summer. It's coming in the summertime. You heard it here first. We're gonna go back to this on February 27th. 2025.
Yikes.
Let's go ahead and move on, GM. But before we do, let's also just give one ad and one shout out one time to our favorite sponsor, the best barbecue in entire city, H-Town. I'm gonna lay it up to you.
Oh man.
Like D-Wade to LeBron.
There you go. Shout out to J Bar M Barbecue down on Leland Street 9 minutes from Toyota Center, walking distance-wise. That is your spot to go for your happy hour before game time, to walk to Toyota Center, grab yourself $2 Wells, $5 margaritas. There's a $10 3 street taco and margarita deal every day of the week. Make sure to go check them out. Go enjoy Houston's best quality barbecue spot, Apollo's favorite barbecue spot.
Also
And-
mine. Favorite
in
barbecue
his spot. Yeah.
DJs too. Shout outs to the Big Goose.
There you go. And shout out to Hoffy. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
See y'all there.
And also, shout outs to them because I believe, me personally, that they have probably some of the best happy hours in the entire city of Houston.
Absolutely.
Like, by
I
far.
completely agree.
Like, not even not a paid ad, just 100%.
I mean, they
have tops.
A beautiful patio, a newly installed big LED screen outside on the patio as well. So we will be having a watch party at some point in March, and as soon as that is finalized, we will let you know.
And playoffs, hello.
Hello.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeet.
Can I be included?
Yeet.
Let's go ahead and move on to our last subject, Justin. Let's talk about it right now. Texas Trinity, 3 keys to the game for the Houston Rockets versus the Sacramento Kings, brought to you by J-Bar MGM. Let's do this. Instead of going 3-3, how about we do this? Let's change this. You go with key number 1. I'll go with key number 2, and you and me have to agree on key number 3.
Ooh, okay.
It's just something a little different. Let's do something a little
Okay.
different. Let's get crazy. This is the Thunderdome, but it's also fuck the Thunder, so it's the Rocket Dome. Go ahead.
A fair statement. My first key is taking care of the ball. First thing, take care of the ball. Turnovers have been a huge issue for this team. Been a little inconsistent in terms of how we play from quarter to quarter. But if we can play 4 quarters of taking care of the ball, we should be able to beat Sacramento Kings. So that is, even if Fred does come back, Fred will not be playing like normal Fred.
No,
We're still going to rely on Amen Thompson and Jalen Green for ball handling duties on the perimeter, and LP inside the paint. So we're just going to really need to take care of the ball and ensure that we don't turn the ball over. Yeah. Kenny.
Okay.
What is your second key?
Key number 2, Jabari needs to get going from 3. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
What a
I'm
statement.
kidding. No, key number 2, obviously, defense needs to stay in the game. I think defense, obviously, just being huge.
Their intensity.
Keeping that focus on what made this team who they are, just continuing to expand upon their identity. Like, that's your identity. You are a defensive team. You are one of the best defensive teams in basketball. Show who you are. Kind of put your foot forward, because this is not like, they don't have De'Aaron Fox anymore, but this is not a pushover team. Like, they still got Domantas Sabonis. Like, they still got hoopers. Kyler Murray. I was thinking of Kyler Murray, the quarterback. Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray. I'm already in football mode. Shout out to the draft coming in April. Zach LaVine, it's got Malik Monk, Zach LaVine, like DeMar DeRozan. Like, they still got hoopers.
Yes.
So this team just needs to stay focused, and as long as they do that on their defense, they'll win the game. I think defense, like I said, defensively, when they're in it, you have the 29 other teams you go against, you have more chances than not to beat your team as long as your defense is locked in, and I'm sure that's Ime's philosophy going forward. All right, key number 3, here we go. We got to agree on something. Throw it up.
An efficient Jalen Green.
No.
Rebounding.
No, I'm just kidding. We can go with efficient Jalen Green. I like that.
I think that Jalen Green, if he just plays the way he's been playing, not above or too below himself, we should get a victory. I mean, Malik Monk is a decent player. He's a good player.
He always plays well against us.
Zach LaVine, not much of a defender, but he's a hooper. Not much of a defender. Jalen Green should be able to take advantage.
Not much of a defender. Not much of a defender.
I mean, that's about as... I like Zach LaVine. He's a good player. But I think that if Jalen Green plays the way that he's been playing, a dub should be in our future.
Yeah, no, they should 100% get the win here, especially as long as Jalen he doesn't, like I said, post All-Star break, Jalen, if he does, it's not just a win. It's probably going to be an easy win, but he doesn't need to get to that point.
Yeah.
And more importantly, just with Jalen as well, for Jalen, and I'm going to couple it together, efficiency, Jalen, Amen, Şengün. That's your big 3 right now in terms of,
and I think all 3. Core 4, including Jabari.
Oh, I like that. You know
I like
what?
The core
the big 4. The
I
big
like
4.
The big 4.
Yeah, I like the big 4 too.
Fantastic 4.
The fantastic. Whoa, hey, hello.
Is Jabari Miss Fantastic? I'm just kidding. I don't know who she is. Elastic Girl? I don't remember the names.
That's from The Incredibles. What are you doing?
Don't mind
this
me.
This went left field so quick.
Don't mind me.
Dead center to left really quick.
Don't mind me. I know Mr. Fantastic, but go on.
There's a Mr. Fantastic. He can be the Thing. That's fine, okay? Because Dylan's not in that group, so Jabari can be the Thing.
Fair.
D-Best's probably not the best defender. One of the best defenders out of that core four. But yeah, no, I can go with that. Key number 3, we'll go with Jalen being the guy, obviously.
Yeah.
I would like for him and Şengün and Amen as well, like all 3 of those guys kind of just keep their percentage, like keep the efficiency high.
Yeah.
And if you do, you walk away, with a dub against Sacramento, building upon obviously what you've been doing and the way you've been performing so far, and each game being so important. GM, there are 23 games left in the season. 23. And our Houston Rockets are number 4 in the frickin' West.
We're within striking distance of the 2
We're so
seed.
back.
So, I mean, I think we're stuck between the 2nd and 5th seed. So I think
we're not
we're starting to really separate ourselves. So I'm very happy with that, and I'm cool with it. Hopefully we can climb higher, but I like where we're at.
I like it too. Yeah. And I like this more importantly than anything because I finally get to do this. It's been so long and I get to say it. GM, let's get ready to close this episode here. Give the people what they want.
Ooh. Okay, make sure to follow me on socials at JP_Mirabueno. Make sure to follow the podcast on Twitter at Summit, SOMPOD. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Summit, StateOfMind_POD. Make sure to follow our people, our group, our brothers, our family at Apollo HOU on all platforms. And dare I mention, do not forget to super kick that subscribe button over on YouTube. We are at 14K right now. Very happy to have 14,000. Let's get to 14.5K. Let's do it. Make sure to sub, like us, comment, even say it. Tell us how happy you are to see the GM and the commish back in front of the camera.
One night only. No,
there
I'm just
you
kidding.
go.
I don't know. I'll be coming back. All right. You can follow me on Twitter as well at Summit Commish. Follow DJ as well at Hustletown Season, who couldn't be here for this episode, but be sure to give him a follow as well. Mm-hmm. Follow all of our content, like the GM said. WrestleMania is going to be around the corner in the next month and a half or so, and so we have big news dropping on that. If you listen and enjoy our wrestling content, big news on that front. That's going to be coming here very, very soon. Also, be sure to check out our Rockets watch parties as they come up. We're going to have obviously one in March, and then obviously with the playoffs coming around the corner in April. So be on the lookout for that. GM, let's get ready to go home here. The Big Goose is not here, but in his honor, do the damn thing.
Yeet.
I got nothing else. Hello. No.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.